is Laura Posluszny, and I am so honored and humbled to be here, to be nominated by my peers to give a few words to culminate our experience. Asked for this mic because I'm a little bad with podiums. I'm kind of short. I can't begin to tell you how excited I am to be here, and I know that each and every one of you feel the same way. We've come a long way, and we've made it. We get the best career in the world, guys. We get to be nurses. To the faculty in this room, thank you for inspiring us. Thank you for teaching us and for your time. I wanted to recognize one particular faculty member who could not be here, our dean, Dr. Burns. She just recently passed away, but I know she was a great mentor to me as well as to many of us. So in her honor, at our banquet last week, we collected a little donation for her scholarship fund. So I'm going to present that to you. So to the family and the support and the friends in the room, your time has come. For years, 4 years for at least my family, you've been on the receiving end of a phone call that's us crying about school. But now you get to call us crying about your medical concerns. So your time has come. But thank you all so much. Quick shout out to my cheering squad. My mom, my dad, my sister from Pennsylvania, my brother, my twin, my new roommate, my best friends Jessica and Sharon are here. If they look surprised, it's because I didn't tell them I was giving this speech. I had to make sure they were coming for the right reasons. You passed. Thank you. Love you guys. Back to the speech. So I'm going to share with you a little three-part story of experiences that happened to me throughout my time in nursing school that I think give a clear picture of our progression from everybody in purple here. Everybody has a great story here, so this is just a glimpse into the stories that everyone has shared. So when I was a freshman, one time I was at a movie, and I went to the restroom during the movie, and all of a sudden this girl just goes pale and faints right on me, like slams me into the wall. And I just looked at her. I was like, why did you slam me into the wall? And she just kind of crumpled to the floor, but she was okay, and a ton of people came in to help her. So I didn't know what to do, so I just left and went back to my movie and enjoyed my popcorn. There's more to the story, but not that story. That's the end of that one. So that was freshman year. Fast forward to junior year, I'm driving to school one day, turn a corner on McCart, and in front of me I see a car flip over. This time I didn't scamper away. I pulled over, and luckily there were some other people on scene, and they hopped out of their car, I hopped out of my car. I didn't really feel comfortable like touching the victims, but I did take their phones and I called their parents. They were two 17-year-olds with a child, so they were really scared. So I talked to their parents, and they ended up being okay. The ambulance came, and I was like, okay, did my part, gonna go ahead and leave now. Now fall break this semester, this graduating semester. I'm in a restaurant in Austin and just enjoying some barbecue during fall break, and hear a thud. To my left, there was this elderly gentleman who just fell on the ground and started bleeding. And without thinking this time, I jumped over the embankment and went, checked his pulse, looked at the site. It was just a slight wound. It wasn't deep. It was just bleeding a lot because that happens on your scalp. It does. Right?
Yes.
It did. It does. It does. It does. I promise. Okay, so I took his pulse, I helped get him outside, the paramedics came, they asked me what happened. I told them, this guy's been coughing, he had a fainting spell, passed out for a minute, hit the ground. He's really okay, just a superficial scalp wound that bleeds a lot. So when it was all said and done, the manager approached me and said, "I'm so glad someone who knew what they were doing was here. You've got to be a nurse." And just kind of walked away. And I was like, it really stunned me, because I hadn't announced myself as a nurse or anything. So I tell this story to show you all how far we have all come. We all have our stories. For me, it was from scampering away at an emergency to handling an emergency. For others, it was from checking pulses on prosthetic legs, which, for those of you who don't know, prosthetic legs are plastic, so they do not have pulses. So from checking those pulses to circulating an OR. That's a far place to come. Wow. I think Danny Wakefield said it best. He said, "We can no longer hide behind the excuse, 'Oh, I'm just a student, let me get your nurse.'" We're the real deal. Once we have that license, it's us. We're running the show. It's kind of scary. But more than that, it's a gift, guys. It is such a gift. Think about it. We get to take care of the most precious people on earth. Look around. We get to take care of moms, grandmas, grandpas, babies, brothers, sisters, sons, daughters. Every person that we take care of is loved by someone. So I encourage you to be a nurse who treats everybody like a somebody. When you have a patient that is on your last nerve, always on the call bell, or you have to change 1,000 times, I just want you to remember that they're someone's loved one, and treat them with that kind of respect that you would want treated for your patients, or for your loved ones. But I have no doubts with this group in front of me. This group of purple is the most impressive group I've ever interacted with. Patricia Bush and I were on a run, and she said, "I am impressed by every single person in our class," and I cannot agree more. Every single one of you. Raise your hand if you have kids and you did all this. Look at that. I don't have kids, but I imagine that was really hard. So, if your patients get a fraction of the compassion that I've seen you have for your kids, they're going to be the luckiest patients in the world. Y'all are incredible parents. I'm so impressed. Raise your hand if you have been out of the country for whether it be military service or nursing or any time to study abroad. These are what TCU calls global citizens, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so impressed. Everyone here has gone above and beyond. You guys are just so impressive. I am honored and humbled to be associated with you guys, if I will. We've come from all backgrounds, all places. We're going into all kinds of fields of nursing, but we'll always remember this time at TCU together. This time that we got to grow as almost a family. And it's sad that that's ending, but like I said, we're moving on to something even more exciting. So I thought I would end this speech with something that our very own Whipmaster, Facebook extraordinaire, if you will, Cam/James Plummer, wrote on our Facebook group wall earlier, actually in our nursing careers. He wrote this while we were studying for our first set of finals. And at that time, he was encouraging us when we felt like we didn't know anything. And I think that's kind of where we might be now. We might not feel like we know anything, but just like I learned how to not scamper at an emergency, y'all know how to do things too. So let me go ahead and read Cam's words. As you're sitting there, blanking out over what in God's name is the difference between first and second generation NSAIDs, or which disorder is linked with trisomy 18, or how to conduct a patient interview without getting slapped in the face, just remember that when this semester first began, you probably didn't know how to wear an isolation gown. listen to heart and lung sounds, give an injection, or put on sterile gloves without giving your patient 1,000 different diseases. So, don't fret. You know this stuff like the back of your properly gloved hand. I love you all. Thank you very much.